fair is fair. Let's talk about Deadline. In a second, but first some context. The context is, hello, I am Simon. I just made a video about the new BTS album, Arirang, and how I didn't like it very much, and someone commented on that video. And they were like, well, at least it's better than the EXO or BLACKPINK albums, which, like, I don't know if I firmly agree with, but also, I don't like those albums, right? I made a whole review for the EXO album about how I didn't like it, and I didn't think it was a real EXO album, and it frankly doesn't exist in my mind. But I never made a video about Deadline, so here we are. First, though, a public safety announcement, and by public safety, I mean my safety, because blinks really, really scare me. So I do really like BLACKPINK's music, okay? If you want to hear me gush about some recent BLACKPINK music, you can watch the videos I've made about Rosie, the video I made about Ruby, even the video I made about Jump. They are all much more positive than this video is going to be, because I didn't like this album very much. To begin though, let's quickly run through the songs, okay? There are 5 songs on this album. I am gonna circle back to that number, but first let's talk about the songs, okay? The first one is Jump, the pre-release. I really like Jump. I said this when it came out, I really liked Jump, and now I like it even more. I think Jump is fun, okay? Jump feels, I don't want to say it's like the BLACKPINK take on like what K-pop girl group music has moved towards, because it doesn't feel right, but Jump is fun, right? Like Jump is just a fun club anthem, and I think it's good. I think it's catchy. I really like Jump. I'd say it's my favorite BLACKPINK single in like 5 years, which admittedly just means I like it more than any of the singles off of their second full, which I do. So I guess that does make it my favorite BLACKPINK single since Lovesick Girls. But like, it's one of their strongest singles. I do believe that. I think Jump is fun. I think Jump is excellent. I cannot say the same about the rest of the songs. Because then we get to the next song, the lead single off the album, which is Go. And I don't know who dropped the ball between Jump and Go, but no. This song's a no for me. The song is boring, okay? The one thing I can say about BLACKPINK's music up until this album was that even the titles that I hated, because BLACKPINK has titles that I can't stand, even the ones that I hated, they weren't boring. Right? Like, Shutdown is a lot of things, and boring isn't one of them. It's experimental. They try things within their title. Go is just boring. Nothing happens in this song, which is a weird thing to describe a song as like nothing happens. It's not a book, but like there's nothing in this song that catches my attention, right? There's nothing that makes me want to sit and listen to it again after I've heard it. Like, it meanders. It feels long, which is crazy because it's 3 minutes long. And I'm famously a long song lover. I crave 4-minute songs. I really do. I love a 4.5 minute pop song is truly a ray of like God's light to me. And this song is barely 3 minutes, and it drags on because so much of it is the music, and the music is so meh. It's bad, but like it's not just bad. It's bad in a boring way. It's not a good song. For this, like, this wouldn't even really be one of the better B-sides on this album, let alone to be the lead single. The next song is Me and My, and I described this song in a really funny way when it came out, and I do stand by it. I said that it's giving Cardi B if Cardi B made Me and My Besties music. Like, if Cardi B had made 7 Rings, it would be Me and My, and I do believe that to this day. This song, lyrically, is boring, but also, like, musically, Cardi B can do songs like this because they work for her. It doesn't work for BLACKPINK. I don't really have anything else to say beyond it. Like, this sound just doesn't really work for them, and I don't think they should do it. Next song is Champion. I do believe Champion is the strongest new song we got on here, and I don't think it's very good, and let me explain that. I think it's good in 2 separate parts. The chorus is very Disney Channel to me, and I do like the chorus. The verses also have this, like, chill pop vibe. And I also really like the verses. The problem is they're smushed together into a singular song. They're forced to be one entity, and that doesn't work. Like, if they were 2 different songs where one had the verses and like that style and one was like the chorus style, I would eat that shit up. I would eat both of those shits up. However, they're merged into one, and I've said this about some other songs, but like there are songs where like you can tell that it was two separate parts that were then jammed together, and it kind of ruins the flow of the song for me, and it does not ruin the song, but it diminishes the song. The final song on this album is Fuckboy, and here's my thing with this song. This song is a ballad, and admittedly, Blackpink's ballads have never been their strong suit. I feel like there's a reason they don't have very many of them, and it's because they're fine. Every Blackpink ballad is kind of just fine, and I think, here's my stance. I don't know if they've ever made one. I haven't sat down and listened to their whole discography in a minute. I don't think they've made an R&B ballad, but I do think that's more their style. Like, if they were to do a ballad, I would want them to do an R&B ballad. This is not that. This is like a soft guitar ballad. It doesn't work for them. It doesn't work for them. It's a boring vibe. And to top it all off, this is the last song. You close the album bored. That's not how you close the album. We should have, for starters, we should have put Champion as the last song. I think that would have fit better. Like, you open with Jump, then you have Boring Hours, and then you end with Champion. That's better. But, like, for Fuckboy to be your last song, it's just, it kind of just ruins the experience a little bit. In conclusion for the songs are boring. They're not very good. We got 4 new songs, and I don't really like any of them. I kind of like one of them. The only real saving grace of this album is Jump. Jump is easily the best song on this album. However, we didn't need the album to get, we got it. We got it like several months earlier at this point. So like, we don't need Deadline to get Jump, which is unfortunate because Jump is the best song on here. But that's not the only thing about this album I want to discuss. No, I want to talk about the legacy of Deadline. Okay, I want to start with the build up to Deadline. This is their first album in so many years. Blackpink admittedly has like no albums. I think it's very funny. I remember someone tweeted and they were like, because Baby Monster's third mini is coming out, and they were like, it took Blackpink 10 years to drop their third mini, and Baby Monster's doing it in like 3, and I'm like, you can't use that as a metric, because like, Shiny in 2 years has more music than Blackpink has released in their entire careers. Like, Shiny, even solo material from Blackpink, Shiny probably put out, between their solos and mainline material, between like 2013 and 2015, probably released more music than Blackpink did in their entire career. So like, it doesn't matter that Blackpink has no music. This is the music we got. So like, for this to be the build-up to that, and especially because we got solo albums in between, and I really liked some of the solo albums. As previously mentioned, I really liked Rosé's. I really liked Jennie's solo albums. I thought both of their albums were really good. I've listened to Lisa's twice. It's fine. Jisoo's I didn't like very much, but admittedly, I don't think Jisoo wanted to make a solo album either, so like, we're on the same page. But for like, after something like Rosie and Ruby, I was excited. And then we got Jump. Jump is fun. Jump is good. And then we got the album, and the album is just so disappointing. There's so little life there. I said this about the Bangtan album too, but like, this feels like a commercial product in the sense that like, obviously Blackpink, to be fair, has always felt more commercial than like your average K-pop girl group, but I think that's just because they're so big. But like, this feels like the album that they made exclusively because they were like, well, it is our 10th anniversary and we do kind of have to do something, so why don't we make one album, it'll have 5 songs on it, and we can drop 2 singles, and then we'll go about it, and we'll have at least 2 hits, which ironically, they didn't. Go's not even a hit. I think it's actually very interesting that, like, for Blackpink's potentially final song to be a flop, like, that's so interesting. Actually, on the topic, I do want to address that. A lot of the girls think that this is Blackpink's last album. A lot of the girls think that this is Blackpink's last album, and I think I might be one of them. Here's the thing. Had Go been a hit, and they got another big hit, Deadline went #1 on the charts and like topped the Billboard 200 again or whatever, and they went out with a bang, I very easily could have seen a world in which this is Blackpink's last album. Because like, the members are all doing solo things now. They're not even all under YG anymore. Like, this very much feels like this is the time when Blackpink would have packed it up. Like, they had 10 years. They had 10 years pretty much entirely on top. Like, they had an insane run. This would have been the moment to pack it up. Except for the fact that Go flopped. And I do actually think, I think it was the Mike the Snare video about Oasis. Don't quote me on any of this. Mike the Snare's Oasis video, I believe he was like, because their second album was, I don't know Oasis lore, but I believe their second album was huge, and then their third album like really flopped. And they didn't want to like go out with such a flop that they like decided to keep going after 3 albums and they were originally not going to. I could be completely wrong about this lore. I believe that is the lore. And I think Blackpink could be similar. I think the, dare I say, abject failure of Go is honestly a bigger drive for them to drop one more single. And I think if that single could be a hit, then they'd break up. I don't think Blackpink's gonna be Twice, right? Like, Twice has been active forever. Twice is on tour with like the most grueling tour schedule I've ever seen in any K-pop group history, and they're like a decade into their careers. They've been number one, and they've since like completely fallen off. So like, they're not gonna be Twice. They're not gonna be still active, I don't think, like 10 years down the line. I do, however, think that we're going to get one more thing from them. I think that Go did so poorly that we're going to get one more thing from them. Do I have any other thoughts beyond this? I think it's shady they never toured here. That's my one thing. They never toured where I am specifically, not like the US. They've done many concerts in the US. They never came to Seattle, and I would love to see them. Like, here's my thing. I hate a lot of their songs. Not a lot. I hate a decent number of their singles. But I would love to see them live. I think it would be really fun. I think a Blackpink concert would be so fun. And they never came here. And they're probably never going to, and that makes me sad. Other than that, I think that's all I got. So thank you for watching. Thank you for letting me complain. We had to even it out, right? Like, I've talked about how the EXO album sucked. I talked about how the ENHYPEN album sucked. I talked about how Bangtan's album sucked. We need a good album. Who's coming back soon that's going to give me a good album? The IVE album is fine. If you were curious on my thoughts on the IVE album, it's fine. Hearts to Hearts might have to drop an album and save K-pop. That's my takeaway. Because I don't know what other girl group is going to do it at this point. The Kiki album is pretty good, actually. The Kiki album is pretty good. But as a whole, K-pop is suffering this year. I don't think I've made a good, like, positive review this year. Which is really sad because it's April. The year is a quarter done. And I don't think we've had, like, a great album yet that's dropped, and that's a travesty. Infinite needs to come back. I think that's the solution. Infinite needs to drop an album. Infinite has never released a bad album a day in their life. B1A4 is actually dropping a new album soon. I just saw that. So, like, maybe B1A4 will come back and save K-pop. Who's to say? Oh My Girl is also allegedly dropping an album, and I'm always welcome for an ONF album. Tux's album is coming out soon. I don't think it's going to be good. That's my hot take. I don't think the Tux's album is going to be good. More on that in a future video, but for now, that's pretty much all I got. So yeah, thank you for watching. Comment whatever you want down below. Like and subscribe if you want to, or don't. I will be fine either way. I don't make any money off this channel, so you can do whatever you want. Other than that, in the description, I will put a playlist that has all my Blackpink reviews. I've done a decent number. I think I've done everything since their first full on. Like, I've reviewed all that. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. I haven't reviewed all their songs, because, like, I didn't review Lisa's or Jisoo's. I have reviewed Rose's and Jennie's. I've also reviewed Jump. I'll put that in the description. I'll put a bunch of stuff in the description. You could watch it all if you so choose. And yeah, thank you again for watching.